to OmniDog's Vault. I'm OmniDog. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in, OmniDogs and Omni Kittens. Today I haven't been on the air for a while. I was on vacation, and while I was on vacation, a lot of packages came in. Big haul that my daughter had to hide from my wife. Yeah, as Homer Simpson would say. So, a lot of haulage, a lot of books, a lot of comic books, a lot of graphic novels, a lot of toys, and some vinyl. I had a request the other day, and I'm going to save it for the end for the vinyl because I know a lot of you are mostly comic book aficionados, and just a small percentage of you are vinyl aficionados. So I'm going to save it for the end so the comic book people can go, oh, it's time for vinyl. It's time for me to walk the dog, and they can just turn the video off. I know. It's cool. I dig it. I understand. But maybe you'll want to see some of my colored vinyl or some of my Slater-Kinney stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe you'll want to see it. But I'll save it for the end. So I'm not going to make the comic book people sit through it. I know what it's like. So let's start with some of my toys. And when I say toys, I mean action figures and statues. That's what I collect. And I refer to them as toys, but they're really action figures. And the first thing I did was I traded in my action figure of Angela, the half sister by way of Spawn and Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman. If you don't know that whole story, Google that. That's an interesting story. Angela, the creation of Angela. I had a action figure of her, but then one of those Diamond Select Marvel statues came out, and she looks pretty boss. So here she is. And I really like the base she stands on. And I like Angela as a character. I know Omar, my friend, likes to make fun of me because he doesn't consider her a real Marvel character. But I actually don't care. I'm still so new. I've only been a Marvel fan for like the past 10 years. So I'm still so new to Marvel comics that anything is interesting to me. So I still dig Angela. And let me be careful. I will set her up here. Whoa, whoa. Okay, everything's okay. Then, a little smaller, but still really cool, is a Kotobukiya artifact statue of the fabulous Harley Quinn that I got. And I actually got a really good deal on this off of eBay, which you don't hear many people say these days. But I got it for very inexpensively because then I found out that this is actually can be kind of expensive if you're not careful. If you're careful and you wait and you're patient, they will come up for a good price. And I just like this one. It's small, but it's a good looking one. And I like this one a lot. This is my favorite gal, Harley Quinn. And this is a Kotobukiya from eBay. So don't spend too much if you like that one. See, she's in comparison to, like, say, an action figure. She's just slightly taller than an action figure. Action figures are like 6 inches. She's probably 8 inches tall. So we'll set her down over here. And we've avoided disaster so far. So I'll go through my action figures real quick. Spider-Man Far Away from Home, Far Away from Home. Spider-Man Far From Home, his stealth suit, his Night Monkey suit. I thought this was a cool suit. This came with different hands, and it may have come with, I feel like it came with a different head too. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. This is what I like the look of the most. So I thought this was cool. I found this out in the wild. They're not hard to find. This one's gotten harder to find. This is Spider-Man symbiote with the claws and the weird feet and the claws. This is from the Kingpin wave, I think. And you can see his eyes flare out there. This is sold out on Big Bad Toy Store now, so it may be a little bit harder to find. I guess if you are a hunter in, like Target or Walmart or wherever these things are sold, I just don't have, I, I'm tired. I'm old and tired, man. I'm not going to go to Target 5 days a week looking for these things. So if I can't find them online, I ain't finding them. So fortunately, I found this online, and I like these flared out eyes. These are Boss, so I really like him. So if you're one of those people that can go to Target every day and want to look for him, go for it. He's really cool. I am not one of those people, man. Those days are long behind me. I can't do it. Um, for some reason, I felt the need for Silver Sable. She just looked cool. I love her face sculpt. Look at that. I think that's really cool. Hasbro does the best job on these face sculpts. This gun is ridiculously posed in her hand, but it looks really good. I like her. And I could do a better job posing her, and I'll take some time and do a better job posing her. But I really liked her. She's easy to find. She's not expensive. Here is a very popular character, and I like X-Men. I don't. I of all the books I have, the most I have is probably X-Men, and it's the least amount I've read because it's so daunting. I'm like, oh my god, where do I start? I don't even know where to start. So I'm going to start soon. I feel like I've read a lot, and I still haven't made a dent in it yet. But I do love this one character, and he seems to be just about everybody's favorite. That's Nightcrawler. And he came with 2 different heads, plus the one he was wearing. He came with a couple of different hands and this sword. Here's the head I picked for him. Came with a couple other heads. Everybody loves Nightcrawler. And there's his feet. So those feet are really good because they stand up really well. Some of these characters, especially the women, they come in these ridiculous boots that don't stand up at all. So I'm going to set these figures on the floor because I'm actually not on the floor. I'm going to set them right here. Some of these women come in these stiletto heels, and I'm looking at you, Emma Frost, because this is how I've gotten her to stand up, just like craziness. This is gorgeous. It's from Walgreens. I had to have a friend named Ryan get her for me. She came with 2 heads. One that was on her had long hair. I like the short hair look with red lipstick. She's very hard to find right now. She'll be more, probably next year, she'll be easier to find in Walgreens. But right now she's hard to find. And a friend of mine named Ryan, also known as Duh Collector online, found her for me, and I'm forever grateful for that. Good guy that he found her for me because she's my favorite X-Man. She is pictured here as the Black King of the Hellfire Club. And this is just an awesome one. But she's hard to stand up because look at these heels. These are hard to stand up, but it's okay. Hey, I got her. I'm not going to complain. And then this was one I got earlier. She's very hard to find. You can only find her on eBay. I did not pay much for her because the person, I think, unfortunately did not realize that she was the rare one. And I'm sorry to that person. I feel like I took advantage of you. You mispriced her. I'm sorry, but I took advantage of it because this is the black hair Psylocke. And black hair Psylocke is really rare. But he or she priced her as if it was the purple hair Psylocke. And even purple hair Psylocke's getting up there. Black hair Psylocke is crazy expensive, but purple hair Psylocke is very expensive. I can only guess as to why Psylocke is so expensive. Maybe she's super popular. Maybe they made fewer of her. But I love Psylocke, and I was lucky to get her. I did not luck into her last year. But she is not the best face sculpt, and of course now Psylocke is back to being English, British, whatever. They've completely rewritten it, and who knows what they're doing with her in House of X and Powers of 10 and everything else. But whatever, it's okay. I got this, and it's really cool, and I got lucky. And even the purple hair one's expensive. So, those are my toys. Those are my toys. So now we'll go to my books, which I hauled. You ready? Because it's a lot of books. I went book crazy the past 2 months, but it's okay because I donated 7 short boxes worth of books to the library. I went through these books and I said, I'm not reading this. I'm not reading this. If I didn't sell it, I gave it away. I sold a bunch of books. I gave away a bunch of books. So I'm not hoarding at all. I'm culling. I'm getting rid of everything. So first on the pile is a book you guys need to read, and this is volume 3. You need to start with volume 1. You can get it from Amazon. Castle in the Stars. This is the Night of Mars. The first one was, I think, the Great Moon Race. The Space Race of 1869 is what it was. And then the second one was The Moon King. This is a French book by Alex Elise, who's I'm not going to go through every book like this, but I'm going to do a special review on this. The art is fantastic. The story is fantastic. It's got a Jules Verne tinge to it. The idea is, what if we had landed on the moon in 1869 instead of 1969? It's a wonderful, imaginative tale involving really smart kids, really evil adults, and it's just wonderful. I'm going to do a full-scale review on this book, but I urge you all to take a look at Volume 1, Castle in the Stars, Space Race of 1869, and it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to do a big review on this book. Another book that I read from my pile is by Brian K. Vaughan. Whoop! See, this is the problem with this book. It's really a series of comic books. It's The Barrier, and it pops out into 5 comic books, and they are like this. They're horizontally done. I couldn't get this off of his website for some reason, so I had to get it through Amazon. I might do a review on this. The problem is half the thing is in Spanish because it deals with a crisis on a border town, immigrants trying to cross the border, funky things happening on our side of the border, and then a guy trying to cross the border and a rancher both get sucked up into space by aliens. You never get a translation for the Spanish part, so you're going to have to go use your phone to Google Translate, and Google Translate is not the most perfect translator. So you're only going to get bits and pieces. It's a very good concept, interesting story, helps if you can speak fluent Spanish, but I got a kick out of it. It was good, but that's what I hauled. Okay, wait. Tilly Walden's Are You Listening? My friend and co-host on my Saturday show, Kristen Robertson, recommended this, and I'm going to read this today and come out with a review of it. She said it's her book of the year. She reads a lot of books too, so I want to read this today. A lot of people raving about this Humanoids book, The Fourth Power. Here's what some of the art looks like. So I'm going to try and read this today. Humanoid books take up, 3 hours to read, and I only have so many hours in a day, but I feel like I owe it to you guys to read it and review it. So, because this is supposed to be really good. This book gets a lot of press from the comic book community. It's called Heathen. It's about a female Viking and I read the first volume, but I read it so long ago, I don't really remember much about it, but I remember it was really good. That's Heathen from Vault. It is really good, and this is the second volume, so I'm really looking forward to reading it. One of my books that I love, this is the third and final volume of Skyward, a world in which gravity does not exist anymore or exists only in minimal capacity. And this is a book I can't wait to read, Kelly Thompson's Captain Marvel. Kelly Thompson, which means, of course, it's going to be great and then canceled after 12 issues, because that's what they do to Kelly Thompson. Batman, Detective Comics, Mythology. My friend Taylor Brown's already read it and said it's awesome. Infinite Dark Volume 2. I've already reviewed this. Infinite Dark Volume 1 was awesome. So I'm interested to see where they go with Volume 2. Because I loved Volume 1. This is good. Wonder what the art's like in here. Who does the art? She doesn't do the art, does she? Joelle Jones, Catwoman? No. Joelle Jones, Catwoman? The art's good, though. Let's see, what did I just look at that looked good to me? Anyway, Joelle Jones, Catwoman, Volume 2. I really like her writing, so I need to read both of these things. I got Volume 1 and 2, and I need to read them. Let's see. From Alex Elise, I was on an Omnibros telecast, and a Canadian viewer said that I needed to read The Third Testament by Alex Elise. So I said, okay, it wasn't expensive, so I got it. And he doesn't draw it like he does the artwork in Castle in the Stars. And I don't even know what it's about. Let's see. 14th century, shortly after the discovery of an ancient relic in a secret, long-forgotten crypt, a remote monastery is burnt to the ground and all of its inhabitants slaughtered. Sold. That sounds great to me. And there's 2 or 3 books in this series. Actually, I'm almost positive there's 3 books in this series. So I'll read that. And somebody else was suggesting, I can't even remember how I learned about these books. I don't think I can show you these on the air, but the art is really good. No, I can't show you these on the air. The art is good. It's John Bolton art, who's fantastic. Lovern Kindzierski wrote it, and they're the Shame books. Wait, is this volume 1? When the purest woman on earth allows herself one selfish wish, it is enough to conceive the most evil woman the world has ever known. There's 3 volumes of this. The third one hasn't come in yet because it's from an Amazon third-party seller. And then there's a follow-up called Hope. So if I can, I'd love to do a review of these. The art is just fantastic, but it's pretty racy, and I don't know what the story's like, so we'll have to see. Book that I reviewed and loved, Bone Parish, Volume 2. I reviewed Volume 1. It's about snorting the ashes of the dead in New Orleans and getting high from it. I can't wait to read Volume 2. This book is supposed to be great. Black Widow, No Restraints Play. I've heard a lot of good things about this. This is out of my comfort zone, but it's supposed to be really good. It's a book that's been called The Spanish Mouse because it's about World War II. Let's see if I can get it open to show you some artwork. Twists of Fate by Paco Roca. So, see, because it's not a bunch of guys in capes and tights fighting, so this is something good for me to read. I love to read something like this because I'm getting, quite frankly, tired of capes and tights. Here's a book that had a little bit of controversy in it back when it first came out. Not the whole thing, but I think maybe issue 2 or 3, because of the way a certain character was portrayed, and I want to read it and find out what's going on in it. Darth Vader, Dark Visions. That's a pretty cool cover right there. If you don't know what the controversy was, look it up. Vader, Dark Visions. It's hard to explain. My daughter is a huge Star Wars nut, and she said a bunch of fangirls were upset about it. She wasn't upset about it because she didn't really know what was going on, and she looked to me for guidance because it was a comic book and Star Wars. So I said, once it came out, let's put things in context, read the whole thing, and figure it out, and not get upset about a couple of panels that are taken out of context. So I'm going to read it, talk to her, see what the controversy is about. And then I kind of did a dumb thing. I bought all these Age of X-Man books, and I really shouldn't have, because they're probably not very good. But I did it anyway because I have no explanation. I don't know why I did it. See, words fail me. I don't even have the words. Words am not coming to me now. So I got Prisoner X, Apocalypse and the Extracts. I'm reading this in the Marvelous X-Man. I'm reading this in the camera. The Amazing Nightcrawler. That actually sounds like it might be good. Next Gen and Extremists. This comes off of, I don't know, X-Men Disassembled or something that I read. And so I wanted to follow up on that. Whatever. So if it's terrible, it's terrible. I've made worse purchases. I'll tell you a purchase I made that was terrible. No, I won't get into that. You'll see my review. If you haven't already seen my review on Batman Damned, you go see it. It's on Batter Days in the Batcave. That was the worst purchase I've ever made, because that's the worst book ever written. I Hate Fairyland. Let's talk about something fun. Scotty Young's I Hate Fairyland. I like this book, so I'm glad I got it. And here's a good Batman book. I remember reading this in singles when it came out many years ago. It's a monster. Batman Eternal. Look at how big this thing is. Oh, the blood's rushing to my head just holding it up. Okay, and then we have some books my friend Kyle sent me. So he's a big Cullen Bunn fan, and so am I. And these look good. I want to read these today. He sent me The Empty Man, 2 books called in the Empty Man series. So I'm looking forward to reading those. Here's a book I bet Kristen's going to like. This has Kristen's name all over it. It's called PTSD, and it's got her kind of fun little artwork in it. And I'm sure it's a serious subject matter, which she really likes. So I'm going to read this and recommend it to her. These are from Kyle, who generously sends me books to read because he likes my videos. Kyle, you're the best. Thank you so much for your generosity. He also sent me by Cullen Bunn Cold Spots. Look at that cover. That's really cool. From, let's see, Sword Daughter. Here's one with a colorful cover. I've never even heard of this one. What's this called? Night Business by Benjamin Mara. Anybody that can come up with a book like this is all right by me. I've never even heard of this. This looks cool. And then a Matt Kindt book. I love it. I thought I was a Matt Kindt fan, and I haven't even heard of this book. Black Badge. So that's really cool, Kyle. Thank you very much. I genuinely appreciate your generosity. It is highly appreciated. And that is the end of the toy and comic book haul. We're going to head over to the record pile and talk about vinyl. Most of it's colored vinyl. All of it's cool. I like ambient music. I like ambient music and punk rock. Those are my two favorite things. So it's all ambient, and then Sleater-Kinney is what I bought. So those of you who are not into the records or vinyl, this is the time. 25 minutes and 20 seconds. This is the time for you to go grab yourself a beer or something and just relax. But here's the part where those of you who like vinyl can enjoy the vinyl haul I've had, because it's been a big summer for me. This is a summer's worth. This isn't just a couple months. This is stuff that I did, and these are things I can recommend to those of you who like ambient music. The first thing is an album, Minor Victories. Now this is interesting because it's kind of a pop alternative. I don't want to say new wave, but it's like a pop alternative indie sound. But then they did something really cool. They took all the songs and then orchestrated them into ambient, slow core, slow burn, really neat onto 2 records, post rock songs. That's Minor Victories, and then Minor Victories, the orchestral variations. Really cool. This is one of my favorite albums of the summer. Taking those poppy songs and then slowing them down into post-rock music. That was great. Then I got, many of you will recognize this, Explosions in the Sky. This, I believe, is their remastered first album, and it comes on blue vinyl. I am a sucker for colored vinyl. I don't know what it is. I just love colored vinyl. I'm a nut for it. I am a nut for it. Let's see. I can't even read what this is, but I really liked it, I remember. Well, it's pink, clear. Wild Chamber. It's by Wild Chamber, and it's called... No, it's by Upsammy, and it's called Wild Chamber. Sometimes I have a hard time with these albums from Bleep over in England. Everything's kind of changed a little bit. If you were a fan of 1990s punk from England, maybe you remember The Fall. This is their latest album. I love The Fall. Oh, it's even on Yellow Wax. I love The Fall. Marquis Smith is one of the best. You got to get used to his voice. I know it's a crazy voice, but boy, does he... I love that guy. I love that band. Imogen Heap. I love this woman. Her voice. She sang for Frou Frou at first, and then she went out on her own. This is a beautiful album. She has just an amazing, amazing voice. And let's see. This is Mike Cooper and Rayon Hula. I think this is on, yep, this is on red vinyl. And who's this put out by? Oh, this is put out by Bleep also. It's ambient electronic exotica, so it's ambient music. Here's another Explosions in the Sky album. This is remastered. I just listened to the other day. It was wonderful. This is also on colored vinyl. This is on orange vinyl. So I love Explosions in the Sky. I have a real thing for post-rock. This is the debut album from Floating Spectrum, Point Between. I highly recommend this. I listened to this yesterday. Look how beautiful this is. I'd say this is more ambient than post-rock. It's beautiful, though. And now here comes everything Sleater-Kinney has ever done. I don't even know if I opened it all yet. I don't think I did. I just bought it all and said, I'm going to start doing inventory on my comic books, on my graphic novels, on my collection here, and just start playing it starting in October. And so not all of it's open yet because I haven't started listening to it yet, of course. But gosh, I love them. And so here's the first one that I got, Sleater-Kinney, One Beat. Here's the new one. Now, this one I got off of eBay from Vinyl Me Please because it was colored vinyl. And I'm sure some of you want to see that. It is a Boss cover. So I will open it carefully. I haven't even had a chance. I have to be in a certain mood to listen to this. I can't read and listen to Sleater-Kinney. I have to be doing something like inventory of books or putting stuff away, things like that. Putting this stuff away, all these books and albums and stuff, putting this stuff away, that will be good for me to listen to Sleater-Kinney. And it is on, looks like red vinyl. Yeah. Another group that I like that I just ordered a bunch of colored vinyl from is Vivian Girls. So let me just set this aside. I'll deal with this later because the best thing is still coming. It cost me a pretty freaking penny. This is the limited limited edition deluxe LP. White vinyl, bonus 12-inch featuring 2 new exclusive tracks, fold-out poster, unique slipcase cover. Sleater-Kinney, No Cities to Love. And then you're saying, but Jess, Sleater-Kinney did more albums than that. You're darn right they did. They did a box set worth. I got this box set for about $40 more than the original price, which I considered a good deal. Unfortunately, it's not the colored vinyl version. That is rarer than rare. It's probably about $500, and I'm not spending that. This was only $40 more than, which I thought was a great deal. I got it from Discogs. This is the box set of like Sleater-Kinney, Call the Doctor, Dig Me Out, The Hot Rock, All Hands on the Bad One, One Beat, The Woods. This is all remastered from Sub Pop, and it's all their albums. Would you like to see them? Sure you would. And it comes with, well, I'll just show you what it looks like. It comes with a one-sided 45 and then a little ribbon so that you can pull the albums out. But it does have, okay, hang on. Let's not panic here, Jess. I'll pull all the albums out. Sleater-Kinney. The Hot Rock. These guys are the best. I don't know how you can be that cool. Just like standing there. Look at this. Hi, we're just cool. We're just standing here for pictures being like the coolest girl band on earth. Band on earth. Oh, and I know I have 2 copies of this. One of them's colored vinyl, though, which I wanted. So that's my vinyl haul. I got more vinyl than that, but I felt like that was the most interesting stuff. A lot of it otherwise was stuff that nobody had ever heard of, that nobody would ever know. And the only way that you would be interested in it was if I could play you cuts from it. And if I did that, I'd get a copyright strike and I wouldn't be able to play the video, and YouTube would throw me off the air. So I hope you enjoyed that vinyl. I hope you enjoyed, if you're still here from the books, good for you. If you're still here from the toys, good for you. So thank you for paying attention to my haul. If you have any questions or comments, I always respond to comments. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. I always encourage you to, if you have any topics you'd like me to cover, books you'd like me to review, anything you'd like me to review, please leave them in the comments. I'm up to read anything you want me to review. Please do that. No problemo. So, as always, from OmniDog's Vault, peace and love, peace and love. Thank you very much.